said goodbye to Baltimore this weekend with its final edition. Ad revenue wasn't enough to keep the free paper in circulation. The Baltimore Sun, once again the only paper in town, is struggling as well. Circulation is down dramatically, and more than 200 jobs have been cut in the last 18 months. The newspaper industry as a whole is struggling as more and more people get their news online. Larry Fiorino from G.1440 joins us this morning with more. Good morning.
Good morning, Patrice.
They're either getting it online or they're watching us, which is more likely.
Well, yes, absolutely. Fox Baltimore first.
Exactly. All right. So for people who do get their news online versus the number of people who actually go out and buy a newspaper or have subscriptions to newspaper, what's that ratio?
Well, what we're seeing is that there's overall about a 3% decrease in newspaper circulation, which is not huge, but it certainly is a trend if you look at all the statistics in the National Association of Newspaper website. Okay, and then at the same time, you're seeing that online newspapers, like the websites that the newspapers run, 16% average increase, some as much as 70% increase in viewership.
But the newspapers aren't making as much money off of their online sites as they would from people who are buying newspaper subscriptions.
Correct. Yeah, the newspaper is a mature industry, and people are used to buying ads there. And buying ads online is still a growing industry. You know, it's new, and I think the newspapers are still figuring that out.
All right, so now they just need to figure out a way to take advantage of that and make the online newspaper more successful and profitable. If people aren't going to buy the actual paper ones, they still have to be profitable. So that's the key, figuring out how to do that.
Absolutely. How are they going to make money?
So how do they do that?
That's a great question. I think that as long as I can get my news almost anywhere for free, there's going to be a real challenge.
Well, a lot of people do I look at news online. I read the newspapers online, and right now it's free. But what if they started charging for that? The same way we were talking about a minute ago, the way iTunes charges for a song. Maybe you have to pay a daily fee, 99 cents, to listen, watch that newspaper, read that newspaper online all day. Can't they do something like that?
Well, they could, except if you use iTunes as a great example, there's a lot of people that go to iTunes and they'll pay that $1 for that song.
Right.
But then look at all the people that are going to what used to be called Napster, for example. I mean, if I can go get that song for free someplace, there's a whole segment of the population that will go do that.
Okay.
So
unless all the newspapers decide we're going to charge, then they just will start reading the Sun and read the Post instead.
You sort of need an OPEC for newspapers. If you're going to start charging, because people will just start going to the free ones. Now, the Wall Street Journal, by the way, has had some success charging for their subscriptions.
So maybe this is the trend. Maybe this is where we're going, which will be hard because we've had it free for so long, and all of a sudden they're going to say, pay for it.
I think the secret's really going to be establishing value. When people find value, they'll pay for it, online or offline. There's lots of websites that are making money out there. So I think it's really, to me, this is very promising. There's so much need to consume news. People are going online now more. You know, that segment's growing more than the offline.
So we want it.
So they just have to figure it out.
Charge us.
That's going to be the big question.
Take your time on that one. All right, Larry, thank you.
Sure.
Well, are you looking to earn $500? You can whenever you refer an experienced computer programmer, developer, or other IT professional to G1440. You can send their contact information to larry@g1440.com. Full details of the program are online at G1440.com. Coming up in our 7 o'clock hour, are slots a gamble that's not paying off? We go inside the issue in State House Spotlight.
And you have seen Michael Phelps' infamous bong photo. Will he face criminal charges? I'm Megan Gilland. We'll let you know straight ahead. You're watching Fox 45 Morning News, all local, all morning.